Zel Boy Army, welcome to another video on the channel. In today's video we are going to be talking about FIFA 23 and 5 changes that I think should happen for FIFA 23. I'm not necessarily saying these are changes that I think will happen. On the contrary, most likely I don't expect them to happen, but these are changes I would like to see. If you like this type of content talking about FIFA, the new game coming out, like the video, subscribe to the channel, get involved. I'm going to be posting lots of videos on the build up to FIFA 23. Then as soon as the game drops, daily uploads, daily Twitch streams, get involved. Appreciate the support. And then guys, if you have any ideas for things you'd like to see for FIFA 23 or changes to the current game, please let me know in the comments. So the first thing we're going to talk about is stats. So player stats, when we look at these, the only stats I can see here are games played, goals, assists and cards. Like, that is basically nothing. Like, EA literally are the people in charge of doing the detailed, in-depth stats for the Premier League. When you watch the Premier League, they have all sorts of crazy stats. They have the average distance covered. They have like dribbles per game, tackle success, aerial duels. Like, there's thousands of things I could probably go over. Whereas on FIFA, the game that literally is built on doing stats for the Premier League, this is all we get. I don't think everyone would care that much for this, but I know personally for me, even just from being able to see a little bit more what my players are doing, I would really love to be able to see more in-depth stats, pass success, where players score goals from, shot success, dribbles completed, tackle success, aerial duels. And honestly, I think, especially at the higher level, especially the e-sport, if there was a lot more in-depth stats, you'd be able to actually use this to have a better idea of how your team's playing and who the better players are and be able to get more out of them. I also just think it's nice just to see a bit more about your ultimate team, what's going on. And honestly, I really don't think it'd be that big a step to do. On Madden and one of EA's other games, they have really in-depth stats for all sorts of different things, way better than this. So it's definitely doable. And like I say, EA are literally already doing it for the Premier League. Okay, the second one we are going to talk about is the season pass. I think that's what EA call it. Right stick, does that go there? Nope, that takes us to the SBCs. Objectives, I'm pretty sure that'll take us there. I mean, you can see here, I don't even get my rewards a lot of the time because the rewards are just that bad that I just don't end up checking. You see there, we're in season 8. So, I'm talking about all these different things here. Objectives, milestones, these things that are added, I think not this year, but I think it's FIFA 21 there is added. I could be wrong there. I think that it was an upgrade to the game, but the current system for it is pretty poor and, in my opinion, doesn't really do a lot. For the most part, most objectives and milestones are either pretty simple stuff like score goals, win so many games, and they give pretty rubbish rewards overall considering the grind to get them, or they're stupidly grindy ones to get not very good rewards. Things like score 17 scorpion kicks with a Chilean left back in division rivals, score 4 overhead kicks from the halfway line with a player from Panama in squad battles. Obviously I'm exaggerating there, but for the most part they tend to be pretty pointless, stupidly grindy objectives that no one really wants to do. They're just doing them for the sake of it, and the rewards aren't that good. And then the worst part of it is the season pass is just so bad. Let's just go for it. This is season 8. We're in August right now, where if a player's pretty much not 95 plus with 5-star, 5-star, they're not a meta attacker. Let's just look at the rewards they're giving in season 8 when the insane players in the game who are meta right now are so good. 75 rated player, 2,500 coins over 5 games. Sonic Boom Stadium theme, premium gold pack, a 75 plus rated player, Tifos, Jumbo Gold Pack, Gold Players Pack. Just notice these are all really bad rewards. Ball name _271, so EA can't even put the ball right in the code, and good job EA. More club cosmetics. Small Prime Gold Players Pack. Small Prime Gold Players Pack. Well, these are the free players we get. 3-star, 4-star, 88. Canadian 3-star, 4-star CDM. 4-star, 4-star left winger in a random league. Is it Portuguese league? Like, these are all just in random leagues, hard to link in, and they're not even that good. None of these players are getting near anybody's team. Draft token, rare gold plaque, rare Electrum players pack, mega pack, PL Prime Players Pack. Higuain, 3-star skills, 4-star weak. For a little bit better card, but still pretty awful compared to the cards people are using. And he's MLS. A championship player with 3-star weak foot. 9-Golan. Cool to have 9-Golan, but it's a 90. These cards should be like 95 plus and meta cards from other leagues. If people are going to grind the stupid objectives enough to get to level 30, then they should be getting good rewards. Put it this way. I'm not playing FIFA much right now. I'm waiting for the new game to come out. But when the game comes out, I'm playing about as much as anyone in the world. I'm playing like 8 to 12 hours a day, every day for the first month at least. I'm grinding it like mad, and I don't hit level 30. Because the only way to hit level 30 is to grind really obscure, silly objectives. But what is the point in hitting level 30 when these are the rewards? The rewards are just pointless. Obviously as well, this is Season 8. For the time that the Season 8 is, these are ridiculous. Season 1, they're absolutely awful, like way worse than this. And honestly, at this point, every pack on the way should be an ultimate pack. This pack here should be an icon pack. This pack here should be a Team of the Year pack, things like that. It should be relative to when the game's out. I'm not expecting Season 1 to have 7 icon packs along the way, but I genuinely don't think it'd be unreasonable to have some really good cards there that at least have a good chance of getting people's teams, and maybe an icon pack at the end. That's actually worth grinding, and it doesn't change things that drastically. Again, I don't think EA will do that, but their Season Pass would give people a lot more reason to grind the game, spend more time on the game, potentially make EA more money. Number 3. We are going to talk about tactics. This is my team that I've ended the game with, pretty solid. Obviously, we're going to have an overhaul of chemistry. EA have announced that. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But when we look at the tactics, it is fairly basic for the most part. The defensive style, I don't think is too big an issue, but the width and depth, it doesn't really feel like it does a lot. I also think we should be able to have like players change position based on when you're defending and when you're attacking. The build-up play and chance creation is fairly basic in itself. All of this is just fairly basic. Football's become such an in-depth tactical game right now, and I feel like FIFA doesn't really reflect it. The other thing is I'd like there to be more than just one way of playing. Obviously the gameplay doesn't always allow that, there's a reason in meta forms, but the tactics are a big part of why people can't really play in a different way. Yes, technically you can play in a different way, but you're massively hindering yourself. There's more than enough formations. I don't really get why we can't move our players to custom positions. The only thing I can think is EA worry people would find ways to glitch the game out, but that should be on EA to fix that. And then the instructions, they are very basic in themselves, and a lot of them are pretty useless. So tactics, I definitely think there's a lot of work they could do there. It's ultimately a football game. You should be able to come up with lots of different ways of playing that are all viable if you do it right. What else have we got? Okay, yep. FUT Champs. FUT Champs is a mode in general. Next year will be the last year of FUT Champs, considering we're going to be moving away from FIFA as the name of the game. But FUT Champs, as a mode, it's good as a principle, but there's a lot of things that could be done better about. The playoffs, I don't mind that. It gives people a little bit more to do during the week. I think the reward should be a lot better for it. I've also said before, I honestly think there's an argument that everyone should be allowed to play in FUT Champs. Most people, I'm going to assume, are going to be able to win enough playoff games. I thought, though, it's part of the game. There's rewards in it. No one should ever be tied from even playing the mode. But FUT Champs itself, for me, should be accessible. People allowed to play it and when you can play it. I've always said FUT Champs should be a week-long thing. You should be able to play it any day you want. I personally found the 30 or 40 games better. It suited me. I also thought that it helped a lot in terms of having a top 100. Helps give top players at the top end of this game something to play for. Top 100 rewards used to be good content. People used to like watching on Twitch streams, watching YouTube videos about it. More hype around the game. more rewards for people being really good at the game, I think is fair. But I'm saying increase the rewards across the board. FUT Champs has got to the point now where most people aren't even that bothered about it, whereas it used to be the pinnacle of the game that everyone was really excited for. The fifth and final thing I'm going to talk about that I'd like to see changed is rivals. Rivals and champs, these two of the reasons I'm talking about these, because they're such key parts of the game. If you don't play offline, as in about squad battles, there is not a lot to do other than rivals and champs. I'd love to see them add modes like five-a-side, like FIFA Street almost, using your FUT players. Things like that would be cool, but that is quite a stretch to talk about that being added. So I want the key modes, rivals and champs, to be revamped. Rivals, as of now, doesn't work in my opinion. It's got some good stuff about it. The skill rating system in the elite division is very good. Top players should be playing top players. I really like that. But the rewards are not good enough to make people want to grind this mode. You are probably making about 100k max a week on average, generally speaking, if you're a top player. The rewards are going to be even worse for lower ranked players. So the rewards need to be increased in general. I figured out with a top player getting the top ranks in champs and rivals, they're probably making 350 to 400k a week. R9 costs 10 million at the start, maybe a bit more. It is going to take them 25 weeks, so about half a year based on the average rewards to afford R9. That's one player. And that's if you're not changing your team losing coins on tax. Yes, you can trade and do things like that. I don't think you should ever be forced to trade. For me, I just don't enjoy trading. Other people do, but I feel like a lot of people only do it because they feel forced into doing it to afford the players they want. That is not how it should be. You should get rewarded for grinding the game and playing it lots. Every other game that I've played with any sort of similar system is far more rewarding for playing the main mode. I also think the checkpoints as people level up doesn't really affect top players because they'll always get to the top division anyway. But for a lot of people I've spoke to, they get to a division they probably don't deserve to be in based on their average performances because of the checkpoints, and then they find it miserable because they're just getting bad every game and they can't get relegated. I get why there's no relegation to some extent, because they don't want people to relegate to get easier games, but that's also with EA putting objectives and silly stuff in rivals as well. So they need to find a balance that makes it more enjoyable for people, makes better rewards, and keeps people wanting to play the game. There's plenty of other changes I'd like to see, more accessible ways of getting cool cards, more cards being given out in general, not just in packs. Things like five-a-side mode and FUT. I think there's lots of cool things you could do with FIFA, but I think the things I've said are realistic in the sense of they're not crazy to suggest. Will EA do them? Probably not, but that's my thoughts anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you've got any changes you think you'd like to see or think would be fair and could happen. And obviously, if there's any videos you guys would like to see, please let me know. Appreciate you sticking with me till the end. Have a great day. See you in the next one.